Every enterprise faces the same onboarding bottleneck, going through the dense multi-page employment contract, extracting the detail for the employees, data and non-compete clauses. Doing this manually wastes hours. What if you could build a high-performance non-compliance radar inside the Power Automate? Let's build it right now using OpenRouter and Google Gemini 2.5 Flash. Welcome to the Cut the Faff series, and today our story starts from SharePoint document library. The moment a document signed by the employee lands over here in this document library, we have a Power Automate flow behind the scene which trigger on every document land over here. It goes through the documents, pass into OpenRouter and call the Google Gemini 2.5 Flash, pass it as a items properties or the file properties over here. Employee name, employer name, contact details, and then key point summary as well if there is some important clauses present in the document. So let's upload a document over here. So we have uploaded a document over here. This is my Power Automate flow, and over here you can see I'm triggering it at the time of the files created. Over here we are getting the file content. Over here I am converting into base64 the body of my file, and then over here we are calling the HTTP action. So it's a post method. This is the URL of my OpenAI, and then this is authorization. This is my key. Content type is application JSON, and over here we are mentioning in the body we are mentioning model in Google Gemini 2.5 Flash. So over here we have mentioning our prompt. So analyze this entire employment contract PDF document, locate, isolate and extract the required parameter, return the result strictly as a flat JSON object using these key: employee name, employee email, employee phone, job title, start date, base salary, and key point summary. A brief array containing 3 to 4 critical clauses found, such as a notice period or non-compete rules. And over here we are providing the file data. What is the file data? And then this is data application, PDF, base64, and this over here we are providing the body of our file into the base64. Now I know what would be the return of this action, so I will pass into the JSON, and then over here we have keynotes, so I will concatenate all the key information and provided from the API. We know that our content, the response of our HTTP comes into the content which sits inside the choices, and I already know the schema of my JSON. And if you see over here, the key point summary is there, and it is in the array form. So get into a string, what I'm doing, I'm looping into the array and I appending into my nodes. Once I got all the information, I goes into my SharePoint update file properties action and put the employee name, employee email, employee phone, job title, start date, key point summary. So let's see how does it goes. So if I click and see what happens with my process, so it's ended within 5 seconds, so fast. And if I just click and I can see the whole run over here, and if I go to my SharePoint site, I can see the details, my name, employee name, and then the employer name, and then the consultant, the job title, and then the job start date, and all the key point summary which is there. So it gets all those information from the contract letter. So in this case, complex type of information which is coming from the contract can be extracted and stored into the SharePoint or whatever the data source you want to use by using a Power Automate flow. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.